Hello, I'm Solomon Palmer with Quays News, and these are the top stories. Coronavirus restrictions finally easing allows families to go on holiday. This has led to an increase in prices of holiday homes and an influx of people buy or stay in beach huts. Demand had increased dramatically over the last year, with people looking for a way to enjoy themselves with a spontaneous trip to the coast. Despite foreign holidays likely being allowed in the summer months, many people are still choosing to stay in the country. Over the past 7 days in the UK, there has been a daily average of 2,129 new COVID cases. Yesterday, 1,649 cases were recorded, and only one new COVID death was recorded, with an average over the past 7 days comes to 15 daily COVID deaths. 52% of the people in the UK have received at least one dose of the vaccine. 23% of the population is fully vaccinated. The number of doses given is just shy of 50 million, and the number of daily cases appears to be declining despite the easing of social restrictions. The first semi-normal gig has taken place over the weekend in Liverpool. 5,000 people were in attendance, and Blossoms headlined an outdoor gig at Sefton Park. Attendees were not required to socially distance or wear masks, just to present a negative COVID test upon arrival. The event is part of a government pilot programme to see how these types of events can happen in a post-COVID world. India is resisting a full lockdown despite currently having the most COVID cases in the world. The average number of deaths per day over the last week has been at 3,504. The new case rate reached a new high on Saturday, May the 1st, with 401,993. Reports and images have spread over recent days of people unable to receive help due to a lack of oxygen in hospitals. There is a vaccination program in place, but there is a national shortage of these as well, even though the country is the largest vaccine. Currently, they have fully vaccinated 2% of the population. Around 40 nations have stepped in to help the country with donations arriving over the week. Now, with a focus more than ever on diversity in the workplace sparked by the Black Lives Matter campaigns last year, Hadassah Daniels spoke to the Salvation Army about their inclusion diversity work groups.
Why don't you explain to me what made the Salvation Army decide to launch this program or group, as you called it?
The key element for the actual program to be moved forward or to be initiated, if you will, was off the back of a number of issues, not least fueled by the Black Lives Matters movement. Because of this monumental issue globally, the tick-box of what happened in America, I think actually the Salvation Army had wanted to look at and had been reviewing a number of issues around inclusion and diversity and disability, because it's not just about race, it's about inclusion, it's about diversity. So the Salvation Army has been thinking about all of that, and the TC at the time of the George Floyd issue, the whole tinderbox that had happened because of his murder, the TC, the territorial commander for the Salvation Army, did come out and make a statement, as did a number of other church leaders across the UK, not just the UK, but across the globe. And he endorsed that statement to say that, racism cannot be tolerated in any form across society, definitely not within the church, where the tolerance level should be non-existent.
Now, let's take a look at the sport. Kai Smith has more on this.
Manchester City continue their search for a treble this evening in the second leg of their UEFA Champions League semi-final against Paris Saint-Germain. City lead a tie 2-1 from the first leg in Paris after Kevin De Bruyne and Riyad Mahrez completed an impressive turnaround for the Premier League side after last season's Champions League runners-up netted early through a Marquinhos header. PSG will be without Idrissa Gana Gueye after the midfielder was sent off late on for a second yellow in the first game. The winners will face either Chelsea or Real Madrid in the final in Turkey. Elsewhere, Rotherham continue their championship survival bid against Luton Town as the second tier begins to conclude. Rotherham are one of 4 sides that could still mathematically avoid relegation on the last day of the season, this Saturday. A win would put them ahead of Wayne Rooney's Derby County, leaving them in the driving seat for survival. The weekend sport was mostly overshadowed by the events at Old Trafford after fan protests postponed the match against Liverpool. Away from football, Sir Lewis Hamilton extended his lead of the Formula One World Championship after a strong win at the Portuguese Grand Prix, as the Brit searches for a record 8th title. Red Bull's Max Verstappen finished second, followed by Hamilton's Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas in third, as the season progresses to the Spanish Grand Prix this weekend.
In March last year, the world came to a halt. This meant that for Ford House's cricket club and many others like it, they were unable to play the sport that they loved for almost a year. In February this year, Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced that there would be a return to outdoor sports. 3 weeks ago, all the clubs opened back up. Danica visited the club to speak to the members and find out how they found lockdown.
Ford House's cricket club is one of over 48 clubs across the West Midlands. I spoke to youth and second team player Davina about her experiences over lockdown.
Mentally, it was quite draining and quite difficult having to go through the lockdown without being able to do the sport we love. When we got back into things, it was strange at first because there were many more rules you had to abide to. But honestly, that didn't matter because we were finally able to socialise with people other than our family or other than our household.
A group statement from the coaches at the club reads, "We know the kids found it difficult, especially during the first lockdown, as it took place at the time the season would have just been starting. We ended up doing Zoom calls weekly and drills for each age group. It's great to finally be back, as I can imagine it was taxing on the mental health of the families that would spend more time at the club than they would anywhere else. We're all very grateful to be back."
Abby Titmuss has been talking to two small business owners, Emily Farling and Rudy Glendinning, about their experiences of setting up a business during the pandemic and how social media has been able to make them successful.
After graduating in June 2020 with a degree in business from Swansea University, Emily Farley found herself looking for a job in the midst of a pandemic where the competition was increased. Her long-term goal was to work for herself, but the pandemic pushed her to do this a little bit sooner, and her business Just In Case Designs was born.
I started off this business in September. I came up with this idea of doing mask cases, which are hard, so they protect your case and you can wipe them clean as well. And I thought, how can I make something, because it looks kind of like this, and I thought that's a bit plain and boring, how can I make it more saleable? So I started to personalise them.
Companies and platforms such as Etsy have created a way for small business owners to share and sell their products, with 81.9 million buyers according to their data in 2020.
Ruby Glendinning is the owner of BG Designs, a business that transforms personal photos into illustrations. She has an Instagram page dedicated to her business, as well as an Etsy shop. Both Emily and Ruby use social media as a way to promote their businesses. However, it is not only social media that has played a part in their success.
There are a lot of people doing it. I think what was good for me is that I'm the only person in my local area at home doing it. So I get a lot of local customers. And then from that, word of mouth is just like the best form of advertisement ever.
When I sold out in the first day, it was crazy. Like, I got loads of support, like obviously from my friends and family, but as soon as they started sharing, other people were sharing who I don't know, and it was spreading. And last night, I looked at the original post actually, and on Facebook it had 92 shares, so I was really happy with that, and it's reached like tens of thousands of people.
Now, the weather with Sophie.
A very good afternoon to you. Today we've seen another day of blustery showers with temperatures of 6 in the north and around 13 or 14 in the southern region. As for this afternoon, it is likely to continue with frequent rainfall and strong winds for many of us across the UK. Temperatures are likely to stay below average, with showers continuing to push southwards into the evening. Now, as we transition into the night, it will remain chilly for most of us, with some overnight frosts, especially in the north. Now, for tomorrow, it will not be as windy as it was today, Areas in the south will experience more settled conditions with a mixture of sunny spells and a few showers, with highs of 10 and lows of 1 degrees. As for the rest of the week, there is a cold wind coming from the north with temperatures between 8 and 12 degrees. However, as we continue into Friday, it will bring high pressure, resulting in temperatures of 7 to 15 degrees, along with some cheerful sunny spells before the weekend. See you soon.
That's everything on today's show. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.